Krishna, everybody. Welcome, welcome everyone. We are live from Srivindavan, waiting for some of you to join. Welcome, welcome from Srivindavan. We are transmitting live. We started yesterday the chapter number 14, prayers offered by Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna. And today we are going to continue from where we stopped. I'm trying to find the text, and this time when you join. Where we stopped yesterday, we will continue today. But before we continue, let me inform you that we are also live in YouTube. For those of you who want to join in YouTube as well, we just started 2 days ago. We're just starting, just the beginning, creating something for the pleasure of the Lord, doing this small attempt of service for the devotees, for the Holy Land of Vrindavan, for Krishna in Vrindavan, trying to do this little service, glorify Krishna. This is the life of the devotees, always thinking of Krishna and never forget about Krishna. And so we're starting to doing the live streams also from YouTube with the only intention to increase the little service and the possibility that is there, and nothing else, but only to connect with you all in Krishna Katha, with the intention to only increase the quality of our Krishna consciousness. That's the only intention, to serve you, to serve the Lord. And if you're so kind to join us in YouTube, then in that case you can count with subtitles for the devotees, friends, or whoever wants to join this channel, which is a space created for Krishna, for Vrindavan, for the pastimes of the Lord, for the activities of the Lord, the name of the Lord, glorification of the Lord, the holy place, the holy land, glorification of the devotees. And in this way make our life blissful by serving the Lord, serving the devotees. If you would like to join in YouTube, then the options are there. That's why I decided to go live in the YouTube, so that those who are interested to watch this space, they can have subtitles in Spanish, in different languages all over the world, including different parts of the globe, from the Spanish, South American language, North America, Central America, all over Indian language, all over Europe, and so on and so and so. So that was the reason that I opened also the YouTube channel for all of the devotees or friends or those who want to have subtitles in other language besides the English. You can count with subtitles at the settings and the right side button at the corner of your screen. You will see a little setting button, a round one, and a little square. You have to press on those and search for the captions. Put the captions on in whatever language. So you have to go in those settings to find the subtitles in the language of your preference. If you allow me to introduce this today, because yesterday I was introducing it, the topic, and I forgot to say those are the settings for the YouTube channel. So if you want to have subtitles in Spanish or any other language, you have to go to the YouTube and adjust the settings in the right side of your screen, right at the end corner. So if you allow me to explain this today in Spanish and a little bit for the followers, the devotees, whoever is joined, so they can understand. Ayer estaba mencionando para los devotos, amigos, familiares, quien sea que esté viendo estas transmisiones en vivo, primero que todo gracias, y también para dar el anuncio de que estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde YouTube, también desde el canal de YouTube, donde estoy compartiendo el link, el enlace en mi Facebook. Si quieren irse para allá y ajustar ajustar el lenguaje, usted puede ir a su settings. Ay, ¿cómo se dice settings? Pueden ajustar subtítulos justo en la esquinita de su pantalla. Hay una ruedita y un triangulito y tienen que darle clic en esas opciones para buscar los subtítulos en español, en italiano, en portugués, en cualquier idioma que ustedes prefieran, además del inglés. Ese es el aviso que les quería compartir para quien desee tener subtítulos en otro idioma, como el español, como cualquier otro idioma, incluso en hindi, en cualquier idioma, en India, América, en cualquier continente. Si ustedes van entonces al YouTube, donde estoy compartiendo ya el enlace en mi Facebook, pueden ver el enlace de YouTube. Pueden irse al YouTube y ajustar, como les menciono, de la parte superior derecha de su pantalla, pueden ajustar los subtítulos. Muy bien, entonces explicando la razón por la transmisión en YouTube, para quien sea que se desee unir a estas meditaciones de Brindavan, pueden seguirnos con subtítulos en español o en cualquier idioma de su preferencia. ¿Okay? Entonces ahora vamos a continuar el Krishna Lila, el libro de Krishna, la Suprema Personalidad de Dios, en idioma inglés por ahora, pero con subtítulos en español si se van al canal de YouTube y ajustan sus subtítulos respectivos. Gracias por estar aquí. Ahora continuamos con la lectura del libro de Krishna. Now we are coming back to the readings of the Krishna book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as I told you, if you want to see subtitles, you have to go to the YouTube channel right now. The link is shared on my Facebook wall. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Radhe, Jai Shyam, Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. We'll continue right now with the 14th chapter. Prayers of Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that the purpose of Vedic knowledge is to find Krishna. And it is said in the Brahma Samhita that it is very difficult to find Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by systematic reading of the Vedic literature. But he is very easily available through the mercy of a pure devotee. The pure devotees of Vrindavan are fortunate because they can see Mukunda, Lord Krishna, all the time. This word Mukunda can be understood in two ways. Muk means liberation. Lord Krishna can give liberation and therefore transcendental bliss. The word also refers to his smiling face, which is just like a kunda flower. Mukha means face. The kunda flower is very beautiful and it appears to be smiling. Thus, the comparison is made. The difference between the pure devotees of Vrindavan and the devotees in other places is that the residents of Vrindavan have no other desire but to be associated with Krishna. Krishna, being very kind to his devotees, fulfills their desire. Because they always want Krishna's association, the Lord is always prepared to give it to them. The devotees of Vrindavan are also spontaneous lovers. They are not required to strictly follow regulative principles because they are already naturally developed in transcendental love for Krishna. Regulative principles are required for persons who have not achieved such a position of spontaneous love. Brahma is also a devotee of the Lord, but he is not an ordinary devotee, subject to following regulative principles. He prays to Krishna to give him the chance to take birth in Vrindavan, so that he may be elevated to the platform of spontaneous love. Lord Brahma continued, "My Lord, sometimes I am puzzled as to how your Lordship will be able to repay in gratitude the devotional service of those residents of Vrindavan. Although I know that you are the supreme source of all benedictions, I am puzzled to know how you will be able to repay all the service that you are receiving from these residents of Vrindavan. I think of how you are kind, so magnanimous that even Putana, who came to cheat you by dressing herself as a very affectionate mother, was awarded liberation and the actual post of a mother. And other demons belonging to the same family, such as Agasura and Bakasura, were also favored with liberation and achieved you. Under the circumstances, I am puzzled. These residents of Vrindavan have given you everything: their bodies, their minds, their love, their homes, their possessions. Everything is being utilized for your purpose. So, how will you be able to repay your debt to them? You have already given yourself to Putana. I surmise that you should ever remain a debtor to the residents of Vrindavan, being unable to repay their loving service. My Lord, I can understand that the super excellent quality of the service rendered by the residents of Vrindavan is due to their spontaneously engaging natural instincts in your loving service. It is said that attachment for material objects and home is due to illusion, which makes a living entity conditioned in the material world. But this is only the case for persons who are not Krishna conscious. In the case of the residents of Vrindavan, such obstructions has attachment to heart and home are non-existent because their attachment has been directed onto you and their homes have been converted into temples by your constant presence there. And because they have forgotten everything for your sake, there is no impediment. For a Krishna conscious person, there is not such thing as impediments due to attachment for heart and home, nor is there illusion. I can also understand that your appearance as a small coward boy, a child of the coward man, is not at all material activity. You are so much obliged by their affection that you are here to inspire them with more loving service by your transcendental presence. In Vrindavan, there is no distinction between material and spiritual because everything is dedicated to your loving service. My dear Lord, your Vrindavan pastimes are simply to inspire your devotees. If someone takes your Vrindavan pastimes to be material, he will be misled. My dear Lord Krishna, those who derive you claiming that you have a material body like an ordinary man are described in the Bhagavad Gita as demoniac and less intelligent. Hare Krishna, Valita, Gurudosha. You are always transcendental. The non-devotees are cheated because they consider you to be a material creation. Actually, you have assumed this body, which exactly resembles that of an ordinary coward boy, simply to increase the devotion and transcendental bliss of your devotees. My dear Lord, I have nothing to say about people who advertise that they have already realized God, or that by their realization they have themselves become God. But as far as I am concerned, I admit frankly that for me it is not possible to realize you by my body, mind, or speech. What can I say about, or how can I realize you by my senses? I cannot. I cannot even think of you perfectly with my mind, which is the master of the senses. Your qualities, your activities, and your body cannot be conceived of by any person within this material world. Only by your mercy can one understand to some extent what you are. My dear Lord, you are the supreme Lord of all creation. Although I sometimes falsely think that I am the master of the universe. I may be the master of this universe, but there are innumerable universes, and there are also innumerable Brahmas who preside over these universes. But actually, you are the master of them all. Has a super soul in everyone's heart, you know everything. Please, therefore, accept me as your surrendered servant. I hope that you will excuse me for committing the great offense of disturbing you in your pastimes with your friends and colleagues. Now, if you will kindly allow me, I will immediately leave so you can enjoy your friends and colleagues without my presence. My dear Lord Krishna, your very name suggests that you are all attractive. The attraction of the sun and the moon are all due to you. By the attraction of the sun, you are beautifying the very existence of the Yadu dynasty. With the attraction of the moon, you are enhancing the potency of the land, the demigods, the brahmanas, the cows, and the oceans. Because of your supreme attraction, demons like Kamsa and others are annihilated. Therefore, it is my deliberate conclusion that you are the only worshipable deity between the creation. Accept my humble obeisances until the annihilation of this material world. As long as there is sunshine between this material world, kindly accept my humble obeisances. In this way, Brahma, the master of the universe, after offering humble and respectful obeisances into the Supreme Personality of Godhead and circumvallating him 3 times, was ready to return to his abode, known as Brahmaloka. By his gesture, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gave him permission to return. As soon as Brahma left, Lord Sri Krishna immediately returned to the bank of the Yamuna and rejoined his colleagues and cowherd boyfriends who were situated just as they had been on the very day they had vanished. Krishna had left his friends on the bank of the Yamuna while they were engaged in lunch, and although he returned exactly 1 year later, the cowherd boys thought that he had returned between a second. That is the way Krishna's different energies act. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna himself is residing in everyone's heart, and he causes both remembrance and forgetfulness. All living entities are controlled by the supreme energy of the Lord, and sometimes they remember and sometimes they forget their constitutional position. His friends, being controlled in such a way, could not understand that for 1 whole year they were absent from the Yamuna's bank and were under the spell of Brahma's illusion. When Krishna appeared before the boys, they thought, Krishna has returned between a minute. They began to laugh, thinking that Krishna was not willing to leave their lunchtime company. They were very jubilant and invited him. Dear friend Krishna, you have come back so quickly. All right, we have not as yet begun our lunch, not even taken one morsel of food. So, please come and join us and let us eat together. Krishna smiled and accepted their invitation, and he began to enjoy the lunchtime company of his friends. While eating, Krishna was thinking, these boys believe that I have come back within a second, but they do not know that for the last year I have been involved with the mystic activities of Lord Brahma. After finishing their lunch, Krishna and his friends and cows began to return to their Brajabhumi homes. While passing, they enjoyed seeing the dead carcass of Aghasura in the shape of a gigantic serpent. When Krishna returned home to Brajabhumi, he was seen by all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. He was wearing a peacock feather in his helmet, which was also decorated with forest flowers. Krishna was also garlanded with flowers and painted with different colored minerals collected from the caves of Govardhan Hill. Govardhan Hill is always famous for supplying natural red oxides, and Krishna and his friends painted their bodies with them. Each of them had a buckle made of buffalo horn and a stick and a flute, and each called his respective calves by their particular names. The Kamar boys were so proud of Krishna's wonderful activities that while entering the village, they all sang his glories. All the gopis in Vrindavan saw beautiful Krishna entering the village. The boys composed nice songs describing how they were safe from being swallowed by the great serpent and how the serpent was killed. Some describe Krishna as the son of Yashoda and others as the son of Nanda Maharaj. He is so wonderful that he saved us from the clutches of the great serpent and killed him, they say. Dobrodošla, draga moja Diana. Hvala, ki si tukaj. But little did they know that 1 year had passed since the killing of Aghasura demon. In this regard, Maharaj Parikshit asked Sukadeva Goswami how the inhabitants of Vrindavan suddenly developed so much love for Krishna. Although he was not a member of any of their families, Maharaj Parikshit inquired during the absence of the original Kaur boys. When Krishna expanded himself, why is it that the boys' parents became more loving toward him than toward their own sons? Why did the cows become so loving toward the cows more than toward their own calves? Sukadeva Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit that every living entity is actually most attached to his own self. Outward paraphernalia such as home, family, friends, country, society, wealth, opulence, and reputation are all only secondary in pleasing the living entity. They please only because they bring pleasure to the self. For this reason, one is self-centered and is attached to his body and self more than he is to relatives like wife, children, and friends. If there is some immediate danger to one's person, he first of all takes care of himself, then others. That is natural. That is natural. That means he loves his own self more than anything else. The next important object of affection after his own self is his material body. A person who has no information of the spiritual soul is very much attached to his material body, so much that even in old age he wants to preserve the body in so many artificial ways, thinking that his old and broken body can be saved. Everyone is working hard day and night just to give pleasure to his own self. Under either the bodily or spiritual concept of life, we are attached to material possessions because they give pleasure to the senses or to the body. The attachment to the body is there only because the I, the spirit soul, is between the body. The spiritual soul is between the body. Similarly, when one is further advanced, he knows that the spirit soul is pleasing because it is part and parcel of Krishna. Ultimately, it is Krishna who is pleasing and all attractive. Krishna is God. He is the super soul of everything. And in order to give us this information, Krishna descends and tells us that the all-attractive center is He Himself. Without being an expansion of Krishna, nothing can be attractive. Whatever is attractive between the cosmic manifestation is due to Krishna. Krishna is therefore the reservoir of all pleasure. The active principle of everything is Krishna. And highly elevated transcendentalists see everything in connection with Him. In the book Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated that a Mahabhagavata, a great soul, or highly advanced devotee, sees Krishna as the active principle in all moving and non-moving living entities. Therefore, he sees everything between this cosmic manifestation in relation to Krishna. For the fortunate person who has taken shelter of Krishna has everything. Liberation is already there. He is no longer in the material world. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Whoever is engaged in the devotional service of Krishna is already on the Brahma Bhuta or spiritual platform. The very name Krishna suggests piety and liberation. Anyone who takes shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna enters the boat for crossing over the ocean of nescience. For him, this vast expanse of the material manifestation becomes as insignificant as the water in a calf's hoof print. Krishna is the shelter of all great souls, and he is also the shelter of the material worlds. For one who is on the platform of Krishna consciousness, Vaikuntha, or the spiritual world. It is not far away. He does not live between the material world, where there is danger at every step. In this way, Krishna consciousness was fully explained to Maharaj Pariksit by Sukadev Goswami as he received to the king the statements and prayers of Lord Brahma. These descriptions of Lord Krishna pastimes with his cowherd boys, his eating with them on the bank of the Yamuna, and Lord Brahma's prayers unto him are all transcendental subject matters. Anyone who hears, recites, or chants them surely gets his spiritual desires fulfilled. Those Krishna's childhood pastimes, his sporting with Balaram and the cowherd boys in Vrindavan, were described. Those ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 14th chapter of Krishna book. Prayers offered by Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna. In this way, we conclude today the 14th chapter of the Krishna book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Today, 14th chapter, prayers of Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna is concluded. And if any one of you who is new to these live transmissions would like to make a question or a comment, I can read it at the end. Right now I can read it. I can take whatever comment or question or anything you want to say. I can read it and I can try my best to respond to your comment, to your question, observation. And I will just speak a little bit in Slovenian, since there are some Slovenian friends who are joined. Dragi moje, dobrodošli na live transmission. Mi veremo vsak dan, če lahko vsak dan, včasih ne, ampak skoraj vsak dan veremo knjigo, ki se pravi Krishna book. Krishna je Bog in mi beremo vsak dan ta knjiga o Krišni, kako je živel, kje je živel, vse, kaj on naredil, ko je bil in this planet, v Vrindavanu, v Indiji, pač. Tako da, če imate kakšen vprašanje ali komentar, lahko veren, z veseljem bom probala odgovarjati. And tudi bi bila zelo vesela, če kaj lahko pomagam. In tudi sem zelo vesela, da ste tukaj. Tako da hvala. In lahko greste tudi na YouTube channel in tam se lahko pogledate sa subtitles, ne vem, kako se reče subtitles po slovenski jezik. Tam se da. Na settings imate tam na screen, imate settings in tam lahko se pripravite sa subtitles po slovenščino. Tako da hvala, ker ste tukaj in se vidimo jutri. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow and chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Hare Krishna. Thank you for being here.